Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. I've got an interesting video for you today. As you can see, we're going to be talking about 3 different Olights. These are all Odin Olights. So here on the left we've got the Odin Mini, we have in the center the standard Odin, and on the right here we have the brand new Odin Turbo. Now let's go ahead and get started. I want to compare these lights in this video today. Let's start with the price point. The current price point of the Odin Mini is around $140. The current price point of the standard Odin is around $160. And of course, the current price point of the Odin Turbo is around $250. Now, let's talk about these lights. They all have low mode and they all have a high mode. So we're going to just jump right into low mode. The Odin Mini has a low mode of 200 lumens. This will give us 5 hours of runtime and 97 meters of throw. The standard Odin has 300 lumens on low, and it lasts 8 hours of runtime, and we get 118 meters of throw. When we jump up to the Odin Turbo, we have 90 lumens on low, 7.5 hours of runtime, but 600 meters of throw. And some of you are probably thinking, 600 meters of throw? That's a lot. Yes, it is. That's because the technology of this light, these 2 Odins are LED technology, and the new Odin Turbo is not LED. This is called LEP. This is actually a Class 1 laser. Now, in the past, for a light to get a big throw or a long distance of throw, they had to have a big head and a clear reflector to get that long throw. But with the new LEP technology, you can see the Olight's accomplishing this with much less lumens, and they're not making a super big head on the light. So again, 90 lumens, 7.5 hours, 600 meters of throw. Now going to high, we'll start here with the Odin Mini. On high you get 1250 lumens, that gives you 240 meters of throw. This will last for 6 minutes, and then to prevent overheating, it drops down to 900 lumens for 11 minutes, and then it drops again down to 700 lumens for 39 minutes, and then it has its final drop down back to low, or 200 lumens for 14 additional minutes. Again, at the highest point, we're getting 240 meters of throw and 1250 lumens. Moving over to the standard Odin, 2000 lumens for 2 minutes. That gives you 300 meters of throw. After 2 minutes, to prevent the overheating, it drops down to 1000 lumens, 9 minutes of runtime, and then it drops down again to 760 for a little over 2 hours, 125 minutes, and then the final step down to 300 lumens for 24 minutes. Again, at the height of its performance, we're looking at 2000 lumens for 2 minutes with 300 meters of throw. Now stepping over to the Odin Turbo, these numbers are fantastic. We're looking at 330 lumens for 30 minutes. 30 minutes before step down. 1050 meters of throw. That is fantastic. Then it drops down to 180 lumens for 150 minutes, and then finally it'll drop back down to 90 lumens for 30 additional minutes. That 90 lumen setting is 600 meters of throw. So again, at the peak performance, the Turbo puts out 330 lumens, 30 minutes of runtime at 1050 meters. That is just fantastic. Now, if you want to talk about the candela ratings, the Odin Mini on low, the candela is 2356. On low, the standard Odin is 3481. And then the Odin Turbo on low, the candela is 90,000. Now, if we want to jump them up to high, the Odin Mini high candela is 14,400. And then on the standard Odin, on high, 22,500 candela. And then the Odin Turbo on high, 275,625 candela. That is crazy. And again, you're not dealing with this big lens like you see on this WARRIOX Turbo, which is a fantastic light, by the way. Now let's talk about the impact resistant rating. All three of these lights are impact resistant down to 1.5 meters. They're all three IPX8 waterproof down to 2 meters. Now let's talk about the dimensions. Let's talk about the length of the light from the tip of the head all the way to the bottom, okay? So the length of this one is 115.5 millimeters. That's 4.55 inches. That's the Odin Mini. The standard Odin is 136.5 millimeters or 5.37 inches long. And then the Odin Turbo is the longest of the three, obviously, 155 millimeters or 6.1 inches in length. Now let's talk about the bezel diameter. We're dealing with the bezel diameter of 29 millimeters or 1.14 inches on the Mini. The standard Odin, we're dealing with 29 millimeters at the bezel or 1.14. So these two have the identical bezel diameter. And then when we look at the Turbo, it's 31 millimeters or 1.22 inches in diameter. It's a little bit larger of a head. Now the weight of these lights with the battery included, the Mini is 176 grams or 6.2 ounces. The standard is 216 grams or 7.62 ounces. And the Turbo is 249 grams or 8.78 ounces. And again, those weights are with the batteries installed. Now, speaking of batteries, let's talk about the Odin Mini. Comes with a customized 18500 cell that operates at 2040 milliamp hour. And then when we look at the standard Odin and the Odin Turbo, they both have a 21700 battery that operates at 5,000 milliamp hour. The lenses of these, the Mini here and the standard, is just, the lens is reminiscent of what you would see on the M2R Pro Warrior, but when they did the Odin Turbo, again, there's a laser inside there. It's a class 1 laser. It reminds me of a lightsaber or something. It's crazy. When you talk about lights that have a long distance of throw, and I keep referring to this WARRIOX Turbo, the WARRIOX Turbo light output has a very tight hotspot, but it also has a peripheral type light. Okay, so around that tight hotspot, you have a peripheral light. These two also have that same thing going on with them, but the Odin Turbo does not have a peripheral light. It just has the tight hot spot in the center and nothing more. Okay, let's go ahead and get some night shots. We are looking at the Odin Mini right now, and the Odin Mini is on low. You can see the beam pattern is really nice. It's not too tight of a hot spot. I'll wait till these trucks get out of the way and then I'll shine it up to that green sign off in the distance. So you can see this is the Odin Mini on low. Now let's go ahead and kick this up to high. Now as soon as the vehicles clear out of the way of the interstate over there, I'll shine it on that green sign. Look at that, off in the distance. So Odin Mini doing a fantastic job. That green sign off in the distance, that's pretty far away. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standard Odin. So now we're looking at the regular Odin. You can see the beam pattern is very similar. We are on low. You notice the color, the tint of the light is a little bit different of a color Now let's take a look now that the vehicles are out of the way. We're still on low and we are working with the regular Odin. Let's go ahead and bump it up to high. And off in the distance you can see that the Odin puts out a lot of light. And I like the peripheral light that we're getting out of it. The green sign off in the distance, you can see that very clearly. Everything is very clear with the Odin. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the Odin Turbo on low. So let's get that fired up. There it is on low. You can see how tight that hotspot is. And this is, again, this is on low. It's focused very, very much. I can go right to that green sign right now and I can go look at anything off in the distance and the light is very clear. I know the camera doesn't justify much of what I'm seeing with my eyes, but I can honestly tell you that this thing puts out a fantastic beam of light. There is no peripheral light at all, and I'm still on low. This is the Odin Turbo. Let's kick it up to high. There we are on high. Let's reach out and touch that green sign. Look at that. This thing is fantastic. This is a lot of light coming out of this Odin Turbo. Turn it off. Now some of you, there's a car coming, so I gotta pause for a second. Some of you might be wanting to see how the WARRIOX Turbo looks. So we'll kick on the WARRIOX Turbo on low. Again, this one, you can see that it's a lot wider of a light. White as in color. This is on low. And I can easily reach out to that green sign off in the distance. And you notice the pattern has a big spill around the tight hot spot. So you see that? Now let's go ahead and kick it up to high. Again, this is the WARRIOX Turbo. Very nice light. I like it that it's really white. And I love the peripheral look that you get out of this. This is just fantastic. And that's a long ways away. Now we're gonna put to the right of the WARRIOX Turbo, we're gonna put on the Odin Turbo. So now you got the Odin Turbo on the right, WARRIOX Turbo on the left. Now you can see that the beam patterns and the colors are different. I like the color of the WARRIOX Turbo. The Odin Turbo and the WARRIOX Turbo can both very easily reach that sign, no problems. But if I get the WARRIOX out of the way and I'm looking at only the Odin, you see that I lose all that peripheral light, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. You know, if that's the kind of light that you need. Let's get rid of the Odin and get back to the WARRIOX Turbo. You see how even the street, it lights the whole street up, everything. You have a lot of light. So I guess it just comes down to, do you need to discreetly look at something off in the distance? Maybe you're in an urban environment and you don't want to shine light on everybody's house, but you want to look and see where the animal is or where a person is or something like that, but you don't want to disrupt or disturb the whole people in your neighborhood. This would be a good light for that, because again, WARRIOX Turbo puts out all that peripheral light, and you're going to be definitely showing a light signature of where you're at very clearly. Again, this one is a lot more discreet and you can really reach out there. And I love looking at the beams when I shine them up in the sky. Look at that. It's crazy. That is just crazy. So we got the Odin Turbo on the right here and the WARRIOX Turbo on the left. Both are just absolutely fantastic lights. And another thing that I really like about the Odin Turbo is the light, the weight of the light. It's not super heavy. Look at that. That is just amazing looking at those shots. If you could see what I'm looking at right now with my eyes, it's crazy. They're both very powerful and both extremely capable. So I hope you enjoyed those night shots and those comparison shots between these two lights. Both lights are amazing. So I want to say thank you guys for joining me on this video today, talking about the differences between the Odin Mini, the standard Odin, and the brand new Odin Turbo. I hope you got some good useful information out of this video. Please feel free to check the description box down below. I'll put links to where you can find my reviews of all these lights And I'll also put my affiliate link down there, so if you're interested in anything Olight, please use my affiliate link, and you can also use the coupon code of Jiu-Jitsu 2000. And with all that being said, folks, again, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.